Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name's Emily, welcome. This is my favorite video to film every month, and that is my TBR selection for the next month. Typically I do a TBR jar chooses my reads, but since March is the month of St. Patrick's Day, I thought I would leave this one completely up to chance. So since the TBR jar, yes, does drive the books that I'm going to choose, it doesn't explicitly choose the book that I'm going to choose. So I wanted to completely take any bias or anything out of picking the books for this month. I just wanted to be completely luck. So I have wrapped up 40 books. These are all books, obviously, that I have not read. If there was a series that I haven't read that I own more than one book, the only one I wrapped was either the first one or the next one in the series. And I'm going to choose our Lord and Savior Taylor Swift's lucky number 13 books this month to read, and it's going to be completely blind. So I put 40 pieces of paper in this jar, and I'm going to pick 13 pieces of paper, and the corresponding number is the book that I'm going to select. So I really had no book on my TBR that was really calling to me, so I thought this was a perfect month to do this, so that I really have no choice. It's just whatever the luck of the draw is. So that being said, let's get started. This is Christmas wrapping paper, if you notice, so just mind your business because I was not getting new wrapping paper just to do this video. So the first number is 8. If you can see that. And it's a big one. It's also hardback, so let's see what it is. So, get that out of the way. The first book is Stephen King's The Bazaar of Bad Dreams. So this is a book that is a collection of short stories. It's not just one story, so I can't really give you a synopsis of what it's about. It's one of his short story collections. So I've had this on my TBR for a very long time, so this must be the universe telling me that it's finally time to read it. So I am looking forward to this. I have been kind of on a thriller and horror kick right now, so that was a really good pick for me for my first one. Book number 2. Lucky number 13. I'm loving that it's been so easy to grab the books that it's been. On the top and on the side. 13 is The Hurricane Boars by Thea Kwanzan. Not sure if I said the name right, but I bought this at the end of last year, and I've heard mixed reviews about it, so we'll see how I feel. I think this is going to be part of a series. So just the brief synopsis at the top is just that fates of two bitter enemies with opposing magical abilities are swept together in the Hurricane Wars, the spellbinding debut in a fantasy romance trilogy, so it is a trilogy, set in Southeast Asia-inspired world ravaged by storms. So it's perfect for fans of Sarah J. Maas and R.F. Kuang. So I love Sarah J. Maas, so let's hope that I like this just as much. Book number 3. $35. There goes my easy ones to pick. Oh, this looks like a short one, so I'm assuming this is a romance novel. Nope, I was wrong. So this is the first book in the One of Us is Lying series. I have One of Us is Lying, and I think One of Us is Next. No, One of Us is Back. Wait, I don't know. No, One of Us is Next. And then One of Us is Back just came out, which is the third one. So again, with the thriller genre, I'm in the mood for that, so I'm excited to get this one started. Do I need to start another series right now? No. So the fact that the last 2 books I picked were basically the beginning of a series, we'll see how that goes. But this, I believe, is about students that are in like detention and one of them doesn't make it out. It actually tells you which one doesn't make it out on the back of the book. 5 kids go in and one doesn't come out. According to investigators, his death wasn't an accident. On Monday, he died. On Tuesday, he planned to reveal juicy posts about all 4 of the high school classmates that were in detention with him, which makes them all suspects. So that actually sounds really interesting. I think this is a show. Maybe. I don't know. But I have been wanting to read this, so I'm very excited about this book. So 3 down, 10 to go. I did go a little, I usually only pick 10 books and then I allow myself to just kind of mood read, but since I haven't really been in a mood for anything, I thought I'd just pick 13, and it's a lucky/unlucky number. Speaking of lucky numbers, my lucky number is 7, and that is this next selection. Also a hardback. Another one I probably wouldn't have picked up if I hadn't done this, which is Dolly Parton and James Patterson's Run, Rose, Run. And I think this too is a thriller. So let me read this real quick and then see. So yes, this is a thriller, and it's about a star on the rise, singing about the life she left behind, but she's also on the run. So find a future to lose a past. So she goes to Nashville to claim her destiny, but it's also where the darkness she's fled might find her and destroy her. So it is just going to be a thrillery month for me, it looks like, which is cool. I don't mind reading thrillers when it's still cold out, so get them out of the way before summer comes and I want happy books. So I'm excited to read this. I love Dolly Parton. I've never read a James Patterson book, so this will be my first book of his, but I honestly bought it because it's a Dolly Parton co-authored book. Book number 5. I'm really liking this so far. Watch me get like a book I really don't want to read now. 27. I have a feeling I know what this is. It's one of 2 books, and I think it's another Stephen King. Could be wrong. Nope. So, Stephen King's Fairy Tale. And this, I believe, is about a boy who is, like, handed down these keys to this fantasy world that is in, like, his neighbor's shed, and when his neighbor dies, like, he leaves him access to this world. And it is him exploring that. And I really don't know much about that other than it's a portal to another world. So, should be exciting. I'm excited for this. I bought this again towards the end of last year, so I'm happy to get it read. And it's like fantasy mystery, so again, it's kind of something I'm in the mood for right now. Number 6. My camera is like dying, so let's see if we can get through this before that happens. Number 18. Another thriller. So this is Holly Jackson's 5 Survive, and similar to, I guess, One of Us is Lying, there's 6 friends that go on a road trip and then they end up being basically stalked and hunted, and one of them doesn't survive. And I believe that this is set in a way that each chapter is an hour leading up to the end and the conclusion of the book. So I've heard mixed reviews about this, but I loved A Good Girl's Guide to Murder. So if it's anything like that and the kind of writing that she did for that, I do think I'm going to enjoy this. And I am hoping this will be a very fast-paced read for me. Book 7, hitting the halfway mark. '21. Ooh, another series to begin. These Violent Delights by Chloe Gong. And I was honestly putting this off to start because I'm in the middle of so many other series, but I guess the fates have made their decision. So this, I believe, is a Romeo and Juliet retelling in Shanghai. Yeah, early 1900s Shanghai. And there's a blood feud between 2 gangs who run the streets. an 18-year-old Juliet Kai, the former flapper who has returned to assume her role as the proud heir of the Scarlet Gang. And then the White Flowers is the rival gang, which is run by Roma Montagov. Oh yeah, that's definitely a Romeo and Juliet thing right there. Well, Juliet and then Montague. And he's her first love and first betrayal. So it seems like scorned lovers that are now heads of the rivaling gangs. So semi-Romeo and Juliet-esque. I've heard good things about this series and the series that follows it, which is the Foul Lady Fortune series. So I'm excited to read both, hopefully both duologies, and I think there might be a novella in there too. Number 8. $29. Hoping this is like a romance. Something not like, I don't know if These Violent Delights is considered fantasy or if it's just like a romance. Well, kind of a romance. So this is All the Little Raindrops by Mia Sheridan. And I believe this is like a romance thriller. So yeah, 2 people have been kidnapped. They don't know why they're chosen, and now they share a tragic past. So there is a connection in their past that should have made them enemies. Now they basically have to unite to get themselves out of the situation that they're in, and they, I think, end up probably trauma bonding. Now years later, the male is a private investigator, and he revisits the crime when he learns it may not have been the only one related to what happened to them. So it did come in my romance reveal box, so I believe it's a romance book, but it also sounds a little bit like a thriller. So a good mix of 2 genres that I do enjoy. 4 more to go. Wait, no. 5 more to go. Number 26. Getting like all the ones in this area. Another series I was trying to put off starting. Because I only have the first book for this as well. So Red Queen by Victoria Aveyard. I don't know much about this, just that this is very similar to like kind of Hunger Games, and I know that Powerless was based off of this. So I think there's like 2 different types of people again, just like in Powerless. Reds and Silvers, which are the elite, the Reds are the lowly people. But however, the lowly person discovers she has powers, which is a little different than Powerless. Now her power needs to be hidden. So I think this is a romantasy series. I was excited to start it, but I was trying to get some of the books or some of the series read that I have all of the books for before starting some new ones. But the world was like, nope, you're going to start reading these. So book number 9 is Red Queen. Now we have 4 more left. 25, again, like I'm picking all of the books in this area. I don't think I have any more series on here that I haven't started yet, and I really hope I don't. Shatter Me, the first book in the Shatter Me series. So, see, luck isn't on my side today, because I was honestly putting off starting all of these series, but you know what? Here we are. So this is by Tahara Mafi. I think this is about a girl who's, I think it starts with her like in prison because she has a touch that is like fatal, and then she's being released from the prison because she's wanting to be used by, I don't know if it's the government, but it's a dystopian novel. So yeah, the reestablishment plans to use her as a weapon. So she's trying to fight back against them, but also to find a future with someone that she thought lost to her past. So again, I've heard good things about this. I just didn't really want to start a 6-book series. But I guess I am going to, because my type A personality follows my TBRs. I rarely ever don't finish a TBR. Book 11, number 4. guess I'm also just going to read Stephen King a lot this month too. I am excited for this book though. Holly by Stephen King. It is his newest release, and it is about Holly Gibney, who is a character that has been in other books that he has written that he has just couldn't let go of. She was never the main character though, so this is the first time she's the main character. She runs Finders Keepers, which is like a private investigation business that was started in Finders Keepers, the book. And she's asked to go back to this town to try to find out, I think somebody's missing, and she ends up meeting this older couple that's in this house, and the house may not be everything that it seems. Like, it may be haunted, but usually when something's haunted in a Stephen King book, there's a different explanation for it. So I'm very excited to read this book. I got this for Christmas, and I love Stephen King, and I loved Holly, so I'm hoping that I like her book. 5, 10, 11... 2 more, I think. 33. Looks like a short one, so that's exciting. And I'm not saying anything about series that I don't think I've started yet, because we all saw how that happened. Okay, no. This is Megan Miranda's The Girl from Widow Hills. So this is a thriller. So this is about a girl that went missing when she was sleepwalking. And they ended up finding her, and her mother wrote a book about it. And then that ended up causing like her to have a bunch of like fans, but also creepers and stalkers. So she tries to disappear from the public eye, and now she's living way far away, goes by a different name. And now it's the 20th anniversary of her rescue, and people are looking for her because they want to do a special on it. So she jolts, so okay, that's interesting. She finds herself awake, or no, in her yard, wherever she is now, and she sees someone she knows, a dead body of a man that she knew from her previous life. So she's obviously going to be forced back into what happened to her 20 years prior. I do enjoy Megan Miranda's books. I have a few, I think, on here, so this will at least knock one of those off. And it's another thriller, which is, again, what I've been wanting to read. And our last book. I think I'm going to do this before my camera starts flashing at me, so that's great. Number 5. Okay, another book I probably would not have picked up. So I picked up Louise Penny's book, The Madness of Crowds, a few months ago in Ollie's because it was like super cheap, and I've always wanted to read one of her books. So I think this is a thriller again. So this is, I don't know if it's really a thriller, but it seems like there's an argument between, oh, no, it is, okay, so there is like a murder. There's people that get involved with something that ends up coming to a conflict, and there's arguments and debates and stuff about it, and then it ends in a murder. So then there's an investigation on like who involved in this, like is involved in the murder. So I don't know too much about it. I'm okay with that. I think it takes place in Canada, but it was a really pretty cover. It's like a gorgeous cover. So, and I've wanted to read one of her books for a long time, so I thought I'd pick it up, and now I'm going to get the chance to read it. So now let's go through the 13 books that Luck selected for me. We have Stephen King's The Bazaar of Bad Dreams, The Hurricane War by Thea Guanzon, One of Us is Lying by Karen M. McManus, Stephen King's Fairy Tale, Book 1 in the Shatter Me series by Tahara Mafi, The Girl from Widow Hills by Megan Miranda, Stephen King's Holly, Dolly Parton and James Patterson's Run, Rose, Run, Holly Jackson's 5 Survive, Chloe Gong's These Violent Delights, Mia Sheridan's All the Little Raindrops, Victoria Aveyard's Red Queen, and finally, Louise Penny's The Madness of Crowds. So this is a pretty diverse TBR for me, and it's pretty big too. I usually don't pick this many to read right up front, but since I didn't really know what to read, I wanted to give myself a lot of options since I was doing it this way. So I'm excited. I'm a little nervous because there's a lot of thrillers in here, and there's some books that I didn't want to start, which that's on me. I included everything, but I am excited. That's 3 Stephen King books I get to read this month. I'm very excited about that. So we will see at the end of March how many I've read, and if I still have enough on here to do another TBR like this in April, I will, because I'm still on my book buying ban, so there will be technically no new books added unless I finish a book in a series and add the next book on from that series. So I will see you all in the next video. Thank you so much for watching.